everybody, welcome back. So I've been home from vacation for about a week, and I figured today I've processed it. So I want to recap. I want to talk about what were some of the great highlights of my trip, what were some of the, any things I would do better next time parts of my trip. So I figured today would be a good time to sort of regroup and, we'll talk about the trip, and then we'll also check in on, what's coming up. If you're new to my channel, it's a semi-daily vlog. I tend to be posting every other day these days just because I have a full-time job. So I'm doing as much as I possibly can. I love to travel. I live in the New York City metro area, so I'm always doing things that are out and about in New York. And when I can't do that and I'm at home, I'm doing lots of cooking and crafting and all sorts of other stuff. So it's a very eclectic channel. So that being said, let's talk about this cruise. I had such a great vacation. I love going on cruises. I really do. And the reason why is kind of like multi-layered. Layer one, I intentionally do not get the internet package. I am disconnected pretty much for a week. The videos that we're posting while I was away were scheduled ahead of time. It's in this day and age where we're always on our phones, always checking what's next, always, looking at the internet or the social medias or always, looking on our phone, looking at the internet, playing games, using our apps. Like, we're always doing something on our phones. And to be able to just say, you know what? No, my vacation is also a vacation from that. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's really, really good for my mental health to be able to have that disconnect. And when I go on a cruise, it forces me to do that. It's a very difficult thing to just do without, the internet being taken away, right? It's like I'm grounding myself, like no internet for a week. But it's actually like super enjoyable to actually have that space and to give myself permission to do that. So that's reason one. Reason two, I don't have to worry about anything. Once the cruise is booked, once I, have taken care of, like, if I'm going to get off the ship or not get off the ship, like any activities, like everything's taken care of. Entertainment's on the ship. Food is on the ship. Like activities, pool, and it's very whimsical. Whatever I feel like doing at that moment in time, that's what I'm going to do. If I feel like playing trivia, I'm going to go do trivia. If I feel like watching a show, there is a show somewhere on the boat going on. So that it has that level of flexibility. So I love it. I could do as much or as little as I want. And the cruises that I've been on that go to the Caribbean, the weather is always gorgeous. It's always gonna, except when we're leaving the New York area. So you have those cold couple of days at first, but like you're going to tropical paradise. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a comfortable temperature year round. The water is this amazing turquoise blue. It's there's no words to describe the color of the water in the Caribbean. It is just stunning. And I love snorkeling, and getting to go on vacations where I could go snorkeling I love it. It's like getting to be a guest in a fish's world. It's so cool. So yeah, that's why I love cruising. And that being said, I mentioned in some of my videos that I think I was going to go up in tier while I was on that cruise in like their Crown and Anchor, which is like their loyalty program. And a couple of days after I got back, I did get confirmation that yes, in fact, I did go up in tier. So we'll talk about what the tier means. The tiers are separated by how many times you've sailed. For each night that you sail, you get a point. And if you have to pay a single supplement, meaning you're a single cruiser like I was on this past vacation, but you are in a double occupancy room. So not like a few times ago when I had the single studio, you don't pay the single supplement on the studio rooms. But if you get a standard room, you pay what's called a single supplement, which means they're basically charging you the same, if not sometimes even more, than if you had 2 people in the cabin with you. And if you have to pay a single supplement, they do give you double Crown and Anchor points. And that did happen to me on this trip. The thing is, it's not based on dollar value. So this was actually a pretty affordable trip, but it doesn't matter if I was doing this on this affordable trip or if I was doing this on Icon or one of the newer, more in-demand ships that have a higher price tag associated to it. It doesn't matter. It's all about the number of nights and if you're paying the single supplement on top of it or not. That's it. So this was a fairly affordable cruise as a solo traveler in the grand scheme of things. And I got double points because of it. I actually would have bumped into the next tier even if I only got single points. I was that close. So it's based, like I said, it's based on the number of nights of your cruise. So this was a 7-night cruise. So I thought at first I was getting 7 points. I actually got 14 points. So I'm that much closer to the next tier. When I got on the ship, I was what was called Platinum tier, which is the second tier. The tiers are as follows. It's Gold tier, Platinum, Emerald, Diamond, Diamond Plus, and Pinnacle. So those are the different tier levels. So at Gold tier, that's like your first sailing. You know, after your first sailing, you're in the family. Like, you can be a member of Crown and Anchor, and for every sailing going forward, get some sort of perk. I, on this sailing, had been Platinum tier, which was like this second tier up past Gold. So these are the perks that were included for me on the Platinum tier, because I saved the paper so that I wouldn't forget. So for me, the perks that they gave me on the sailing, again, always subject to change. This is just what they offered me this past vacation. They gave me a 50% off coupon for any glass of wine, beer, or soda with 2 coupons per sailing. 50% off coupon for any Johnny Rockets milkshake, 2 coupons per sailing. 50% off for any coffee beverages, but Starbucks was not included, and it was 2 coupons per sailing. Then 10% off for any glass of wine, beer, or soda. And receive 1 free non-alcoholic specialty coffee with the purchase of 1 specialty restaurant dinner. So that means, like, if you got a dinner at like Chop's Grill or Jamie's Italian or Izumi or any of those specialty restaurants, you could get a free specialty coffee with your dinner. Then for entertainment, we also have this one. So buy a bingo package, get 3 free jackpot cards. So if you saw the video where I played bingo and I had the extra cards, that's what that was. You could also get 15% off any Voom internet package. So Voom is their internet at sea package. And you also get $4 of free play at the casino. So the free play at the casino is a little bit confusing how you access it. You can, I don't know how you do it at the table games, but I do know how to do it at the slot machines, because you have to like use the touchscreen menu and navigate to like your account and find the promotional credits. Honestly, the first time I did it, I need to get assistance. I was very confused. It's not straightforward, but they are more than willing to help you figure it out. Then for shopping and services, another coupon that I was eligible for was buy 1, get 1 half off for photo. 15% any spa service excluding Medi-Spa. 10% off Royal Caribbean logo products with a minimum purchase of $25. $5 off a $25 dry clean or press. And $5 off a $34.99 wash and fold laundry bag on 5-night or longer sailings. So at the Platinum tier, those were all the bonus perks on board that were offered to me at that level. Next time I sail, I'm going to be Emerald tier. So I'll be able to let everybody know like what the Emerald perks are. The next official cruise I have booked is on Icon of the Seas, which will be next year in 2024, Will I book another cruise before that? I don't know, maybe, possibly. Yeah, it's always a distinct possibility. I just don't have one officially booked yet. So yeah, those are the perks that I got from my tier. The other thing that I wanted to offer some clarity around was Next Cruise. I had done a video a while back about Next Cruise and my experience with Next Cruise. And I got a lot of comments, that's not a great deal. There's so much better out there, this, that, and the other. And the more I sail, the more I learn, right? I am still no expert. I am going to put that out there. I am still learning. This is still a learning process. So that being said, I do not work for Royal Caribbean. I am not representative of a brand. I do not work for Priceline. I am not representative of the brand. This is strictly my opinion and what I've been learning along the way. So for this particular cruise, what I had done is, I had decided which cruise I wanted to go on, and I sort of did price comparisons. And what I was noticing, regardless of which site I went to, whether I went to Royal Caribbean directly, whether I went to Priceline, whether I went to another travel agent, the dollar value seemed to be about the same. The cost of the travel that they were offering me was all in the same ballpark of each other. But the extra onboard credit varied dramatically. And I had compared this with a chain travel agency, Priceline, and booking directly with Royal Caribbean. The chain travel agency actually gave me nothing more than booking directly with Royal Caribbean was offering. They did not offer me any kind of onboard credit, any discount, any other promotions other than what was out there on the Royal Caribbean page. It was exactly the same. Priceline, however, was offering onboard credit, and that was not being offered by booking directly with Royal Caribbean. So I ended up booking through Priceline on this trip. It was super easy. It was no more challenging or complicated than booking on the Royal Caribbean website. You just, you identify your cruise, your sailing dates, the cabin stateroom level, whether you want an interior or a ocean view or a balcony, whatever class you want, whatever stateroom category you want, how many people are going to be sailing with you, which dinner you want, whether you want the early dinner, the late dinner, or the my time dinner, and all your personal details that they need. Pretty straightforward. When I booked this cruise, I booked it fairly close in, so I did have to pay for the whole cruise up front. So I wasn't able to do a deposit and pay it off. I don't know if it's strictly because I booked it close in or if it was, just Priceline's policy. That I don't know, but that's what happened. So when I booked through Priceline, what I immediately had access to the Royal Caribbean app on my phone, and my reservation linked right away. Within 24 hours or 48 hours, I was able to see it in the app. Happened pretty quickly. I was able to access the cruise planning benefits, so booking reservations for meals, booking shore excursions, all of that got linked really, really, really quickly. Super fast and easy. What I did notice is before the cruise, I had access to $75 of onboard credit that I was allowed to spend before the cruise started. And you could put that to shore excursions, spa treatments, dining packages, beverage packages, anything that's available in the Royal Caribbean app for pre-purchase, you're able to put that onboard credit towards. And I had mentioned in the shore excursion video with at Port Canaveral that I had thought about doing the pontoon, and I didn't book it in advance, and then it ended up selling out. So it's sort of you have to decide so you have to decide if you want to do a shore excursion. There is that risk of it selling out, so I do recommend booking that in advance. But that being said, when I got on board, I got an additional $50 of onboard credit, which gave me a total of $125 onboard credit. Now, onboard credit when you're on the ship can go towards anything that gets charged to your room, as far as I am aware. And the included gratuities that automatically get charged to you every day, $16 per person per day, which, if my calculations are correct, was like $113 for me on a 7-night voyage. I don't have a calculator in front of me, but 16 times 7, I'm pretty sure it was 113. It was somewhere in that ballpark. It was a little over $100. That being said, I had that little bit of extra, and I ended up putting the balance of it towards my bingo cards, right? So even though I let you know what the full price was, I didn't actually out of pocket pay that much for bingo, because I ended up using some of my onboard credit towards the purchase of my bingo card. Because it got, you charge it to your stateroom account, and that works. So the onboard credit when you're on the ship is very flexible to anything that you're charging to your room. Again, as far as I'm aware. So that onboard credit just basically, it saved me, money I was going to be spending anyway towards gratuities. So yeah, that was great having access to that extra onboard credit, and it saved me a bit of money. Then going back to next cruise, I saved the flyer. So let me read you what the gist of the flyer here. So basically with next cruise, so if you're on board and you already know what kind of cruise you want to take, or if you don't, you could ask some questions. There's staff there that can help you figure it out. But if you were to book a cruise while on your cruise, it depends on the length of stay, the length of the cruise, the type of view. So interior and ocean view are in the same category. Balcony and junior suite are in the same category. And then grand suite and above are in the same category. And then how many nights the cruise is. So 4 to 5 nights, 6 to 9 nights, and 10 or more nights. And that determines how much onboard credit they give you. And at the low end is $25, which would be a 4 to 5 night cruise in an interior or ocean view room. At the high end would be $600, and that's 10 or more nights in a grand suite or above. So there's all sorts of ranges in between. It looks like it mainly goes up in $25 or $50 increments, like 25, 50, 150, 50, 100, 300. So it has like different amounts and different combinations depending on those factors of length of cruise and the category of room type. Now, I had done Next Cruise once before, and I had gotten the $50 onboard credit because I had booked a balcony view room, but I had not booked previously with a travel agent. So something that they say about Next Cruise that I don't fully understand, because they say that if you book on Next Cruise, whatever travel agent you had booked the cruise you're currently sailing on can get credit for that cruise, and it can be transferred to that travel agent. So in my mind, like I didn't kind of like fully process. And to me, I thought that just meant, oh, great, they'll get their commission. So that way they're not like losing out, and it's great and you're helping your travel agent out. But then when I did not book a Next Cruise this trip. So when I got home, I got an email from Priceline. And basically what it's saying is, like, welcome home. I'm like reading the email here. It says, welcome home. But then it has this other line. Did you already book on board? Give us a call so we can ensure you get all of our offers on top of everything else. So to me, that reads like if I were to have booked a Next Cruise and transfer it over to Priceline, whatever promotions Priceline is having, I could get stacked with whatever onboard credit from Next Cruise I was eligible for. So that's what that sounds like to me. And it sounds like that is where the value of the Next Cruise comes from. Because it sounds like if you have a travel agent that can get you extra bonuses and perks, and it's allowable for it to combine. Again, I'm not 100% sure. This is just like what this information coming to me reads like, that it's combinable. So that to me is where the real value starts to come into play. because then it's like you're getting whatever your travel agent can get you, and then you get this next cruise bonus is what it sounds like to me. If that's not correct, please let me know in the comments. Again, I am not a staff member of Royal Caribbean. This is just me as a traveler trying to figure this out. I don't work for Royal Caribbean. I don't work for Priceline. I do not work for a travel agency. This is just me as a traveler trying to figure this out and make sense of what's the best way of booking a cruise in the future. So that's sort of where I am with all this information that's come at me. So that is my current take on next cruise and booking with travel agents and what I've learned over the past year in my vacation journeys. So that being said, those were sort of the two things I didn't really fully address while I was on vacation, were those two topics. So I wanted to circle back to those because I thought they were worthwhile. Then the cruise itself was absolutely delightful. These shows were so good. I have a list of the shows. They give you this list. So it's like a good reminder of all the shows that I saw. And of all the shows here, I missed two, but one of them is not my style. One of them I missed because I was feeling very tired that night. So the first one on that list was Mosaic, which was that a cappella group that was on the ship for 1 week. They were incredible. Like, I didn't know that human voices could make those noises. Like, it was really, really incredible. Like, they sounded like they had instruments and they didn't. It was just vocals. Amazing talent. It was so cool to watch. It was really, really, I felt so lucky that they were on that sailing. It was great. Then there was a comedian on board, which I didn't go to. Generally speaking, I'm a tough sell for comedy. There's very, very few stand-up comedians that I really connect to. So I skipped the comedy show. I got to see the Royal Caribbean Band play in a few different venues. Spectra's Cabaret. I love Spectra's Cabaret. I just really, really enjoy that show. It's this combination of vocals and, like the aesthetic of the space with the robots. And there's a percussionist, and it's just great. And they move through the audience, so you really feel like more connected to the show. I don't want to say interactive because you're not a part of the show, but you're more connected. That, like they say, like the fourth wall with actors, like there is no fourth wall. They're moving through the audience with you. The Gift. The Gift is a very steampunk feel kind of a show that took place in the Royal Theatre. Great vocals. It was aesthetically beautiful. Like the set design on The Gift is sort of like where it's at. We Will Rock You. We all know by now that's my jam. That's where I love it. Every time that I've sailed on Anthem, We Will Rock You has been the show. So this is the third sailing I've been on Anthem. Third go around seeing We Will Rock You, but actually more than that, because on these sailings I may see that show more than one time. Yeah, so I'll go and see it. And then if it's offered later in the sailing and there's room in the theater, I want to make sure everybody gets to experience it. But if there's room in the theater and I'm not preventing somebody else from enjoying the show, I will go and see it a second time because I enjoy it that much. It is amazing. If you are a Queen fan or a fan of any kind of rock and roll, yes, see We Will Rock You. It's great. I love it. And then there was a tribute band called Rookie, and that was the band I wanted to see that I did not get to see because I was tired. I was very tired. And the last night I wasn't feeling 100%. I didn't go to dinner the last night. My digestive system was not behaving properly. So I called it an early night, and that was the only night that band was playing. So that night I did not do much. So yeah, all the shows I saw on board, excellent. All high quality, all engaging, all just really fun, but in very different ways. So they have shows that really appeal to everybody. So, and they're included. So give it a chance. If you like it, great. If it's not your jam, that's okay. You don't have to stick around. It's fine. But give them a try because there's some really, really great shows on board. So yeah, those are the highlight. Like the shows are probably one of the big highlights for me on cruising. And like I said, the weather, and I love just getting that fresh sea air. Spending that day at Coco Cay is just so good for me. I love going to Coco Cay. That's great. Getting to snorkel and all the fishes and that shipwreck that sunk in the battlements. That was so cool. I didn't know there were sunken battlements before. I was so glad that they told me about that. They did tell me there's a sunken plane, which I did not find. So the next time I'm there, I'm going to have to go looking for a sunken plane. But I found the sunken battlements. But yeah, it was so great. It was so much fun, so much to do. So yeah, if anyone else has a cruise coming up, I hope you have a wonderful vacation, have a great time, and just enjoy. So I'm going to call it here for now. I will see everybody real soon. I got to get back to real life. We'll figure out the next time we do vacation. So for now, back to the usual stuff. And I will see you all real soon. And until then, stay inspired by everyone. Take care.